What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders, and welcome to another episode of Talking Rides. Today, with our friend Casey here. Go.
Hey.
And we're going to be talking about his Impala. What kind of car is this?
We got 94 Impala.
94 Impala SS?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I know this is the last V8 rear-wheel drive Impala.
Last big sedan to come out of America.
These things are going to be worth a lot of money in the future. So what have you done to it so far?
We got a cold air intake, exhaust, new paint except for the roof and the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Just changed transmission fluid, and that just keeps on going.
Nice. So are you just going to leave it pretty much stock, or are you going to do anything else to it?
It's tempting to do mods to it. I kind of want to leave it stock. You know, it's a lot really unmolested, but always room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's take a look at what's under the hood.
LT1, cast iron heads.
Wow, that's actually pretty clean for an older car like this.
Yeah, I try to keep it washed, but fun part about this is the distributors in the front here.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the common problems with these is, or people say, when they get wet, they go bad.
Ooh, that's not good.
And a lot of people say, oh, hey, you can't drive through puddles. It's an OptiSpark. They call it Opti for short.
Uh-huh.
But I live in Oregon.
Yeah.
And I drive through puddles all the time.
Yeah.
And I've made out fine. So
yeah.
I think there's being a bunch of little pansies. But interesting deal about this was Camaro and Corvette had aluminum heads and a 4-bolt main block. This has cast iron heads and a 2-bolt block. Why? It don't make sense to me in the bigger car.
Yeah. So it's pretty much stronger than the Camaro and the Corvette heads.
It's built for torque more than power, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gonna need some torque in this big beast.
Gotta get it out its own way.
How much does it weigh?
With me in the car, it weighs 4,600 pounds.
Oh my God, that's how much like SUVs weigh nowadays.
Yeah, it weighs more trucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I know like Tahoes weigh about 4,500 now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's insane that they have a sedan that weighs that much. But it's all good. It's old classic American car. All right, let's see how this thing sounds. Nice. All right. So any other car you could have bought, why'd you choose this one?
I followed this car for about 2 years. It was out of state, actually.
Oh, really?
And every time I go into town, I'd Google at it, and my Camaro kept breaking down, so I need a new car. And got on Craigslist one day, and I saw this for sale, and I just had to get it.
Yeah, these are great cars. Like I've always loved like the Impala SS. It's just because like they're just kind of like gangster cars. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they're big, they're powerful, they're comfortable. And it's just kind of the last like good American car like that. I know they have the caddies and everything, but I just feel like this was a good in between like the luxury and like kind of some sportiness. Because I know this doesn't handle well, but I'm sure Cadillac is worse.
It actually handles all right. I mean, GM, they put the carbon shocks on it, and it actually handles pretty well. I mean, it's not a Ferrari or anything.
Yeah,
it'll keep up with an RX-8, but it'll pull its weight around the corner.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had more bucket seats because you're just holding on. You're just holding on to the steering wheel. It's the only thing you got to hold on to.
Yeah. What is your favorite brand? Or if Chevy's your favorite brand, what's your favorite product from Chevy?
That's like asking what's your dream girl. You can't have a perfect one. I don't know. I'd love to have like a Grand National, but I'd settle for a T-Type because it's the same thing, just a different trim. You know, turbo 3.8. I don't know. I like to have a turbo V6, something from the 80s that I could just piss people off with.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I like this car, is it pisses people off. You know, you get the guy on the corner of the street going, "Is that your grandma's car?" And then the last thing they see is taillights.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, I think these are great too. How much horsepower does this have?
That's a good question.
Or like, what does it have? What is it supposed to have at the crank?
From the factory, it had 260 horsepower at the crank, and I believe 330 foot-pounds of torque.
Oh wow!
I think I could be wrong. I don't know. I have a brochure for it. Brochure and service history, but it's 22 years old. But I've put a cold air intake and exhaust on it, so it's probably making right around the same power as it was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah. But with the miles, like that's super, 105,000 miles for a 94.
I just flipped that over today.
Like that's insane. That's insanely low for the year.
And I bought it with 96,000 on it.
Oh wow.
So that's why people are like, to them it's like me being a pedophile in a way, but
stuck.
Well, you're putting miles on it, you're ruining it.
Oh yeah, it's just like, it's a car. You gotta drive
it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your car.
Why buy it if you're not gonna enjoy it?
Exactly.
I understand people who buy them and put them in the garage, but like that's kind of cool.
All it does is sit there. It's a pink caddy.
You know, I've actually never like seen like those cars just like sitting around like that before. Just because I'm from the city, so that's something I don't see every day. And it's just out there chilling.
Oh yeah, this is fun to park, and I would never go to Portland with this. I wouldn't be able to find a parking spot.
Yeah, because you have to park in like bus parking.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta pay an extra fee. It's so big.
So, is there anything you're thinking about doing to this car in the future?
I want to put a camshaft in it.
Camshaft.
Go a little bit more up and go. And one of the common mods people do is they'll actually put a Blazer torque converter in it because it has a looser stall in it from the factory. So that'll help with it's like letting the clutch slip a little bit. It helps it get up and go. Maybe gears in the future, maybe whenever this limited slip goes out.
Oh yeah. So one thing that I would do with this car is I would change to a floor shifter. Would that be something you think about doing?
If I'm gonna have a floor shifter, I'm gonna have a manual in it.
Yeah.
No automatic shifter. That's the one thing I've been debating as well, is when this transmission goes out, and it's gonna go out.
Yeah.
Should I put a D56 out of a Camaro in it, or
that'd be fun.
Just rebuild the automatic? It's about the same cost.
Oh yeah.
But this is such a clean car, and they only made 6,300 of these this year.
Yeah. So you want to try to keep it just perfect.
It's a hard decision. You know?
Yeah. And see, like, I understand if this is maybe like a Caprice to do that, because they made a lot of those.
Yeah,
but this car is just like, it's kind of a, it's kind of a unicorn of today's standards. So like, I don't see many of these. I think I've only seen maybe 3 of these, like, kind of my whole lifetime.
Yeah. In Oregon, I've only seen 3 of these.
So like, changing into a manual and everything, I just don't think it's maybe something I would want to do. But one thing that I would do though, I would consider is I would swap it with something like a more modern V8.
Yeah, a lot of people LS swap it.
LS, yeah.
And I kind of want to keep the stock motor just to go, hey, I can do this. You know?
Yeah.
So right here is actually where I hit the deer I was doing 60 right up here at this bridge.
Oh wow.
Right at the beginning of that bridge, this deer popped right out of here and went boop. Yeah. It's probably still there. I don't know. Buzzard's probably got to it. It was right there.
Oh wow.
And when I stopped and I hit the brakes, that deer was in the air.
Yeah. Big American car versus deer lose.
Some people say it was cannibalism.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the new GM like rear-wheel drive sedans, like the CTS-V and then like the Chevy SS?
I'd absolutely love to have one of those. The CTS-V wagon is the one that really gets me.
Gosh.
That's a unicorn. I love those ones.
The coupes are kind of unicorns too.
A supercharged 6-speed wagon.
That's That's just nuts.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. Like, that is kind of one of my dream cars. I love the CTS wagon. Because I love wagons and hatchbacks, period. And if I can get a fast American wagon,
that's kind of one of the things.
Oh, man.
Do, is get a Caprice wagon and build it to the hills, and so
yeah,
I wanted to do a wheelie.
See, like, I think Cadillac should still keep making some type of wagon, since they want to compete with the Europeans so bad. I think they still should be making a wagon. It doesn't need to be a CTS wagon, but it should be like an ATS wagon or something.
I think, I heard rumors. I think they're doing that. Put the ATS V twin turbo V6 in it.
Yeah, and if they make an ATS wagon, then they'll have, like, you know how like the 3 Series has the coupe, which is the 4 Series now, the sedan and the wagon.
It'll have something to compete with.
And I think they really should do that, because right now they just have the sedan and the coupe. The coupe, and I've never seen a coupe. I've never seen a coupe yet, like, at all. Nobody buys them.
CTS V coupe or ATS V coupe?
Any ATS at all, like no coupes. I've seen many ATSs, but I've never seen an ATS coupe.
I think I've seen one.
They look
not a new one. I've seen older ones where they were still like 4 cylinders and that.
Oh, okay.
Not the new ones that's just absolute bonkers,
Yeah, even those 4 cylinders, but the 4 cylinders now have about just as much horsepower and torque as this does.
Yeah, that's kind of the scary part.
Like with this all the technology, it's just getting crazy with cars.
Yeah, I mean it's just turned into a pissing contest, really.
Yeah, really. It's like, okay, how much horsepower am I gonna get out the 4 cylinder?
It's just a bragging contest.
Yeah,
but
the Mercedes CLA AMG makes almost 400 horsepower out of the 2-liter turbo.
Yeah,
400 horsepower. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
So it's just getting nuts, like with this horsepower wars.
Well, and like I said before, and like when you bought this car off the showroom floor, you were the guy. I mean, nobody ever, a 4-door, full-size American sedan that produced nearly 300 horsepower, for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
And a year before, they produced 100 horsepower.
Yeah, that's
throttle body injector, then they come out with a big monster. Everybody lost their shit. I mean,
yeah,
it was. Like I said before, if you wanted 500 horsepower, you had to buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
There was no 500 horsepower, buy it off the showroom floor that was cheap.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this wasn't cheap either, but this was America.
Yeah.
Your car's old when it says made in USA.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of Mexico or anything.
Yeah. So how satisfied are you with this car?
I love it.
Excellent.
It gets 26 miles a gallon on the highway. So far, it's been pretty reliable, and it has passing power. I can't complain. I mean, room for 5 and more in the trunk if you're ballsy.
Yeah.
No, it's a good buy for $4,600. I think it's and it's one of those investments that technically goes up or stays flat. I mean,
yeah, definitely. You're not gonna lose money on this car.
Depreciation's gone with this.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, I'd like to thank Casey for bringing the Impala and coming on the show. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you again.
No problem. Thanks for having me.